Meet our free US bookkeeping course brought to you by the Borderless Accountants. We are inviting you to join our community. Live training, reputable tax firms as resource speakers, recorded, replayable at higit sa lahat, libre. To join, like and follow our official Facebook page, join our Facebook group for important updates, and fill out our Google form to be included in our mailing list. See you there!
Si Miss, si Miss Charlene, nandito na rin ba?
Charlene Obante.
Yeah, dun sa pan natin, dun sa opening and closing prayer.
Oh.
Andiyan ka na, darling?
Ano?
Oo nga, ako pala magpa-pray.
Perfect.
Oo,
Kasi
ikaw ngayon ang
okay.
magpa-pray.
Awesome.
Mag-pray na kayo, guys. 7 na siya.
Okay, before we start, you may start the prayer.
Nag-pray na po tayo. Let us bow our head and feel the presence of the Lord. Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord, for the opportunity to come together for this training. We ask for your guidance, wisdom, and understanding throughout this learning experience. Please open our minds and hearts to receive knowledge that will help us grow and improve in our work and personal lives. Grant us patience and focus as we learn new skills. Help us to support and encourage one another, working together in unity and cooperation. May this training empower us to serve others better and achieve our goals in integrity and excellence. Bless our presenter, trainer, Chris, and his company, Borderless Accountant. Protect us from distraction and help us retain what we learned for lasting impact. We lift our hands in spirit to you, Lord, and trusting you that you will lead us in the right path. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen and amen.
Andiyan na ba si Danica? Hello, Danica. Are you here?
Hello po, good evening. Yes po, I'm here.
Okay, welcome everyone. Good evening. Andiyan ba si Sir Chris? Si Chris.
Evening po.
Diyan na po.
Good evening, Chris. Good evening, BA team and everyone here tonight session for our QBO recording of current liabilities.
Anna, hi there.
Yes,
How are you
Chris.
doing?
Fine, but a little bit nervous. It's my first time presenting here in our group.
Oh, nice.
Hopefully,
it's okay. It's normal to be nervous.
Hopefully, I can deliver my presentations well as well as with my partners, Danica, Nanit, and Aya.
That's great. Anna, if I may have 10 minutes, I promise I wouldn't consume a lot of time.
It's okay.
So I just would like to share a few things. We had a session prior to this. I'm glad I met Jess and Donna. And we got a bit of get to know you. And it's very interesting to get to know them. They're working in an accounting related work na wala silang mga accounting background. So they're actually doing the borderless lifestyle already, and hats off to them. The goal for the meeting is really to materialize our goal of com skills, right?
Yes.
Because really, I cannot emphasize it more that we have to invest in com skills, right? And sinabi ko to kanina sa kay Jess and kay Donna that what gets us to the door is our com skills. Because pag na-hire naman na tayo, pwede namang matutunan yung bookkeeping and tax in the process, right? Minsan nga, yung lang firms nagtitraining pa yan sila because malay mo yung software nila hindi man ProConnect, right? Ibang yung software na ginagamit nila. A lot of them offer free training, right? But what they're looking for is someone trainable, right? Someone who understands instructions and someone who can respond to the questions correctly, right? And that is gauged in an interview, right? So no matter gaano ka kagaling sa work, but if you don't know how to articulate your thoughts, right, and present yourself as competent, you would not get the job, right? Marami sa atin ganyan. Nasa-stuck tayo sa Philippine practice because we don't know how to communicate. And sa atin naman, ang concept is communication is always English. No, it's not. Right? Communication is that you make sure that you understand and you get understood. Right? And so that's what we want to improve as we go along, right? Because useless pa din guys na nagbo-bookkeeping tayo, or hindi naman sa useless, but we are learning bookkeeping and tax, and yet we don't invest in com skills, right? So yes, you know how to do tax, yes, you know how to do books, but pwede kayong talunin ng someone na also in the interview phase as you are, na wala masyadong alam sa books and tax, walang experience, but marunong sumagot ng tanong, right? Because it's really how you answer a question that could make or break an interview, right? And so what we're hoping to do as we progress towards this is we're going to create an environment where you guys will, be compelled to practice English, right? And how do you do that? You have to talk, you have to practice, right? You have to really talk. Like earlier, I talked to Donna. Donna has 9 years of experience in the BPO industry, so she knows how to talk, right? But the first time we met earlier, because it was my first time to see her face, because nag-attend si Donna regularly, and even Jess, they don't show their faces, right? And Donna says she's nervous. And why would Donna be nervous when she's only speaking to me and she knows how to communicate? But why was she nervous? Because she's intimidated, right? She's intimidated. She's not used to. And I get that. And because I felt the same way before. Maybe not so much now anymore, because I've overcome that. And so what we're going to do moving forward is we need to be talking a lot. You need to talk to me a lot, so that you would be able to enhance your comm skills. And there's this one story. I don't know if Christina is here. Christina is a lay, I don't know what tawag doon. She serves in the church, right? In the Catholic church. And then last Saturday, they had a seminar to renew their, I don't know, it's not a license, but they have a training. And after the training, they had a confession, right? And she was doing this confession, and she was surprised because the priest is now speaking in English. But because she did not realize that she was actually speaking in English, right? So subconsciously, she was speaking in English because in our office, Mabini, I encourage them to now speak in English, right? So I know it's still early, but somehow she's already has it in her subconscious, right? It really makes a difference when you are surrounded by people who encourage you or compels you to overcome yourself. You know what I mean? And it becomes natural. It becomes part of your subconscious already. So what am I getting at, right? So what am I getting at is we're going to open a community. So this is not going to be, I explored YouTube, right? So sa YouTube pala, pwede kang magpa-subscribe, right? So pwede kang magpa-subscribe so that your live session would only be for those nag-subscribe sa'yo. Hindi siya available sa public. You know what I'm trying to say? So I have that in YouTube activated, because you have to pass some metrics for you to be granted that privilege. So Borderless Accountant is now having that privilege thanks to you guys. So I opened that subscription option, and I priced it. This is not going to be free, guys. You'll have to put a little bit of investment, but this is for you, right? So it's for 499 pesos a month. Subscribe kayo doon sa YouTube. And then once we have good number of subscribers, the team, like myself, would go live, right? And in that live session, we just talk about anything, right? We talk to you, and if you're available, you can join the live. If you're not, then that's fine, right? So outside of work, I go live. Even if I'm at work, if I don't have meetings, I would go live. So you can go into that live session, join us in the live, and talk in English. Ask things in English. Ask anything about books. Ask anything about tax. If you're about to go in an interview, ask for coaching, anything. If you're in that live session, right? Because now I realize a lot of you would want to talk here, but a lot of us are afraid of judgment, right? Because ang sobrang dami, ayaw niyong magsalita, right? nahihiya, nai-intimidate, may mga hindi magpapakita ng video kasi nako-conscious. And I get that, right? But whenever you're in a room of 2, 3, 4 people, ang dami niyong sinasabi, like myself, right? So that's already open, so you can subscribe and we can start it tonight, right? So after this session, I'll start to go live for those who subscribe and we'll just talk, right? Ask me anything, I'll ask you anything. That's how we practice comm skills, right? Comm skills is not answering interview questions. Comm skills is about sharing who you are, what you are, how your day went, what the movies you watch, what's your favorite book, anything under the sun, right? And how you to know a person, right? That's how you get to know a person. Am I coming through clearly to you guys? So it's an option, you know, if you're good with it, wala namang sapilitan, right? Walang sapilitan, but I want to make sure that you would get the value of what you're paying for. And it's not going to be free, guys, to show that you guys are committed to it, right? And it's not a course, right? It's really not a course. It's really just for us to get to know each other. It's really for us to be able to improve on our comm skills. Again, more than anything is comm skills. Kasi lahat natututunan sa actual na work, right? Gaano ka kagaling, tapusin ko dito sa line na to ha. Gaano ka kagaling, kung hindi naman ikaw makapasok doon sa door, wala pa ring mangyayari, right? And for most of us, the way for us to get inside that door is to pass the interview, right? Hindi ka makakapasok sa door kung hindi mo na ipasa yung interview. You get what I mean? So we need to be working on that. And a lot of courses out there are offering free bookkeeping, free tax, whatever, VA, but they don't invest in comm skills kasi yung mga nagtuturo mismo walang comm skills, right? I've seen a lot of videos out there, not demean others, but there's a lot out there offering courses. And if I listen to how they present their courses, I feel like, oh my God, this is someone who makes herself or himself called coach. Kailangan din niya ng coaching. You know what I mean? Because again, you go out there, it's not just about that skill, the technical skills. It's about the soft skills as well. And yan yung mas madalas nakakaligtaan. You know what I'm trying to say? So I don't want to overemphasize my point, but I'm just here to promote that subscription option in YouTube anyway. I'm not gonna stay for long. I know you guys are in good hands with Alma's team. Alma's team yesterday really did a fantastic job. I think you set the standard for presenters kung gaano kayo ka-organize. And I'm also not gonna interrupt you guys in terms of explaining things. Kasi ang mga terms naman na madalas, ang most of the terms that are in this QBO session, natingnan ko na sa business na, ang tawag doon, curriculum ba? Or yung outline ng business tax script course, i-re-emphasize natin siya doon. Okay, like depreciation, inventory, liabilities, yon, mga equity, yung kahapon may tanong about equity and capital, ano daw difference nun. Alma did a good explanation, but I feel like I can emphasize it more sa business section natin. Okay, so go through this QBO session and then I'm very, very excited to have to start the business tax prep very soon once natapos na natin to. Okay, so that's it for me. I know lumagpas ako sa 10 minutes. Lumagpas ba ako? Hindi ko kasi makita yung timer ko sa ano. Ayun, lumagpas nga ako. 14
Yes,
minutes.
lampas.
No
Hindi naman
worries,
ako.
Chris.
Anyways, guys, thank you. And I'll just stay in the background. Will not show myself. Annalisa ba yung maprepresent? So Annalisa, sorry, Annabelle.
Annabelle, Chris.
Annabelle, hindi ka naman
Yeah.
yung called Annabelle, ha? Or hindi ikaw si Annabelle Rama?
No, hindi ako mataray.
Annabelle, take it away. Enjoy,
Yeah,
guys.
thank you, Chris.
Pleasure.
Okay. First, before we proceed with the presentations tonight, let me first have some short bio with me and my partners. So first, I will share my short bio. Good evening, everyone. I'm Annabelle Quaresma, but you can call me Anna for short. I am based here in Cauayan City, Isabela, Cagayan Valley region, and I am an accountant and bookkeeper by profession. I have nearly 30 years of experience in the financial and real estate industries, before transitioning into freelancing as a virtual bookkeeper, accountant, and tax preparer. I've worked with the Philippine-based Australian business owners, gained hands-on internship experience with Australian clients, and managed local Philippine bookkeeping, accounting, and tax filing. I'm excited to be here today and look forward to learning and sharing with you all. Thank you. Hopefully, maging US bookkeeper and tax preparer din ako soon. So, let me call Nanet Elio, then followed by Danica Bulak and Aya Tabunga. Go, partners.
Hi everyone, I'm Nanette Elio. I'm from Makati. I'm currently working as an accountant in a local corporation. I'm also a newbie in freelancing, and I'm really glad to be here in the community to learn and share ideas. Good evening po. Sino po? Miss Danica.
Okay. Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Danica Bulak, and I'm 26 years old, and I'm currently working at Department of Health Mimaropa as an accounting staff, and currently staying in Marikina City. I processed and records transactions, reconcile disallowances and remittances, such as BIR and GSIS remittances, but my main focus is on tax reconciliation. And I enrolled in this course because I want to upskill and eventually make the transition to working from home. I learned about this free course from Kelly, and Kelly is a classmate of mine from BIPIC Hagna, Bohol. When we were studying accountancy, he shared the information about the free US tax course on Facebook, and I thought it was a great opportunity to learn something new, so I enrolled right away. And I'm excited to be here and very thankful for the chance to learn from Chris, who generously shares his knowledge with us for free. And I also appreciate everyone in this community who shares what they know with open hearts. I really love the Bayanihan spirit here. And I hope we all finish this course and earn our certificates. So let's do our best and enjoy the learning journey. And that's all. Thank you po.
Miss Aya.
Good evening, everyone. I am Azalia Alice Tabunda. You can call me Aya for short. I am 37 years old and I'm actually from Bohol, but now residing in Sibulan, next town to Dumaguete City here in Negros Oriental. I graduated with PS in accountancy from University of Bohol. And previously, I worked as a manager at a pension house, but now working as an accounting staff of a nonprofit organization. I came to know Borderless Accountant through my brother-in-law, and I'm happy to be part of this community. Thank you.
Nice bio, my dear partners. So before we start the presentations to be read by Naniet, I have house rules here. First, after the presentation, we'll have the Q&A. Second, you may drop also your questions on the chat box, and our team, Alma, will try to address your questions and clarifications. Third, we'll also send to Google Chat our PowerPoint presentations for your references. If you want to share your insights with our topic, please feel free to share. I will share now my QBO. Wait for a moment. Can you see now my video on the types of impact of current liabilities?
Yes po.
Yes.
Okay. Miss Net?
Okay po. Get started. Start po tayo. Types and impact of current liabilities. Choosing to take on liabilities. Pwede pong pa-scroll down.
Okay. Wait lang. Nakaharang kasi yung mga picture. Wait lang. Sorry. Okay.
Okay pa. Choosing to take on liabilities. Managing cash flow is a challenge for many businesses. Monitoring current liabilities, the money owed to others, is crucial for addressing this challenge. Before taking on new liabilities, it's important for business to carefully consider the associated opportunities and risks. Your role in maintaining accurate records of current liabilities is key. By staying on top of current liabilities, you can provide valuable information to clients, helping them make informed decisions about their financial obligation and cash flow management. Managing includes recording. Regularly recording purchases associated with various current liabilities is a crucial skill for bookkeepers. Consequently, it's important to understand the different types of business liabilities. Current liabilities include lines of credit, cash payments, and deferred revenue from subscriptions and gift cards. Each type of liability affects how you manage the general ledger and maintain the accounting equation. By keeping your clients informed about their current and long-term liabilities, you can help them mitigate financial risk.
So we will skip for the bookkeeping glossary. Then
Okay, let's talk about accounts payable, credit purchases, and payments. Types of liabilities. Liabilities are financial obligations or debts.
Sorry.
Are debts that a business owes to external parties. Current liabilities are debts that a business must repay within a short period, usually within a year. Examples of current liabilities include bills to be paid, deferred revenue, and other financial obligations that need to be settled in the near future. On the other hand, long-term liabilities, such as bank loans, have a longer repayment period and are not considered current liabilities. Okay. Select the plus icon to open and learn more. Accounts payable is a type of liability where a business owes money to its creditors and suppliers. It represents outstanding invoices or bills that need to be paid in the near future. These debts, current liabilities, are the amounts owed for goods or services purchased on credit from suppliers or vendors. Business line of credit. Small and medium-sized businesses often struggle with cash flow. In such situations, a business line of credit can come in handy. It allows businesses to establish credit accounts with vendors, suppliers, credit card companies, or banks. These accounts are only considered current liabilities if the payment is due within a year. A business line of credit is an agreement between two parties that provides businesses with a predetermined amount of funds they can access as needed. If a business opens a line of credit with vendors, it allows them to purchase goods or services and pay for them on a monthly basis or agreed upon terms. This account works like a revolving credit account, enabling businesses to borrow and repay funds multiple times within a specified limit. While these credit accounts may incur interest charges if not repaid within the agreed time frame, they often don't have fees when payments are made on time. This makes them a more efficient option compared to taking out loans to cover expenses. Business lines of credit provide flexibility for managing cash flow fluctuations and meeting short-term financial needs. Next is commercial loan.
Annabel, naka-mute ka.
Sorry, my dear. Hindi mo pala ako naririnig. We will cut on that part and then we will continue the commercial loan after this PowerPoint presentations on the current liabilities and accounts payable. Wait lang. Stop share ko ito then share ko yung kita nyo na yung PowerPoint.
Yes po.
Yes.
Okay. We'll a little bit move in this one. So that is it readable on your part? The PowerPoint. Hi guys, is it readable on your side? The PowerPoint presentations.
Yes, Teres. Yes, Teres po.
Thank you. Thank you for confirming. Okay.
Can you make it bigger po?
Okay. Wait, I will just stop. Is it readable na sa inyo, sa part nyo? Malit lang kasi yung screen ko. My apology. Okay. QuickBooks Online topic recording on current liability. Current liabilities are short-term obligations that the business must settle within 1 year or within its normal operating cycle, whichever is longer. Examples of current liabilities includes accounts payable, short-term loans, wages payable, and taxes payable. They are key indicators of company's liquidity and its ability to meet short-term financial obligations. Here are the best practices in managing. Medyo mali. Hindi nyo mababasa nyo pa.
Maliit
Is it
po.
readable? I will expand. This one. It's okay on your? It's readable
Yes.
already. Okay, thank you. Best practices in managing current liabilities. One is maintain adequate current assets. Keep enough liquid assets like cash and receivables to meet short-term obligations and ensure business continuity. Second, negotiate favorable credit terms, extend payments periods when possible to improve cash flow without straining suppliers' relationship. Third is prioritize timely pay suppliers, lenders, and tax authorities on time to avoid penalties, interest, and damage to credit standing. Fourth is monitoring working capital. Regularly track liquidity ratios, current ratios. We have the current ratios is the basic, and then we have the quick ratio or the acid test ratio before to assess the company's ability to cover short-term debts. Fifth is use cash flow forecasting, align expected inflows, upcoming outflows to prevent liquidity shortages. I have here some basic formula between current liabilities and the most common liquidity ratio. Let's tie the ratio to what's generally considered best practice or industry benchmark for small and medium enterprises and healthy. So here we have the current ratio. The formula for current ratio is current asset over total current liabilities. Mostly in a small or micro businesses, their measurement of liquidity is current ratio. The industry benchmark of this is the one.
Slide show.
Pwede niyo pong
Okay.
para mas malaki.
Yan po.
Okay. Thank
Current
you.
slide. From current slide.
Nakalimutan ko to. Kita ninyo?
Yes po.
Bigger po.
Okay. The current ratio is equal to total current assets and over total current liabilities. The industry benchmark around 2 is to 1. Meaning, for every $1 of liabilities, the company should have $2 of current asset. Below 1 is to 1, It is risky, not enough short-term asset to cover debts. Too high, like 5:1, may mean assets are tied up and not used efficiently. We have also the, oh my God, sorry. Second is the quick ratio or the asset test ratio. Quick ratio is current asset minus the inventory and divided or over by total current liabilities. Industry benchmarks is around 1:1, meaning enough liquid assets, cash plus receivables, to cover liabilities without selling inventory. If 1:1, lesser than 1:1 rather, may struggle to meet obligation unless inventory is sold. If too high, like 3:1, may mean too much idle cash.
Yes.
Yes. Basic formula between current liabilities and most common liquidity. Let's ratio. Third is the current cash ratio. Cash ratio is cash plus cash equivalent over current liabilities. Industry benchmark around 0.5:1 to 1:1, meaning $0.50 to $1 in cash available for every $1 of liabilities. Rarely above 1:1 because holding too much cash means missed opportunities to invest or grow. Example with benchmark, suppose a company has a current ratio of 2:1. This is good and aligns with the benchmark. If the quick ratio is 0.95:1, slightly below 1, may rely on selling their sales in order to cover up their needs or obligation. Cash ratio of 0.6:1 is acceptable within 0.5 to 1 range. So the company looks liquid. Overall current ratio is healthy. Weak ratio suggests some dependency on the inventory because it is slightly below 1. Cash ratio is fine, meaning they have enough cash buffer without hoarding too much. So here are some computations of ratio. Company data, we have 30,000 cash and we have accounts receivable of $20,000, inventory of $15,000, prepaid expenses of $5,000, and a current liabilities of $35,000. So the total current asset is $70,000. Here is the ratio with the company data we have read. So the current asset is 70,000 over the current liability of 35. So the current ratio is 2:0:1. So benchmark is 2:1 plus. So it means the company is healthy and can cover up their obligations. Quick asset test ratio. Current assets less inventory, less prepaid expense over current liabilities. So from the company data we have read a while ago is we have the 70,000 less 15,000 inventory, less prepaid of 5,000 over 35,000 current liability. So the quick ratio is 1:43:1. So benchmark of 1:1 is the company has a very good enough liquid asset without relying on inventory. For the cash ratio, cash plus cash equivalents over the current liabilities. So we have a cash ratio of 0.86 is 1. Benchmark is 0.5 to 1:1. Strong company has nearly 1:1 in pure cash. So this example shows the company is financially healthy. It can pay off short-term debts, has good liquidity, depending heavily on inventory, maintain a solid cash buffer for their operations. So the comparative table is, I will not discuss this further, but we will continue with the reading of Miss Net. Continue.
Ma'am, can you move to the QBO screen?
Can you see it now?
Yes po, but
A little bit smaller.
yes.
Okay. Ni-reduce kasi natin kanina. Okay. Okay.
Commercial loan. A business loan or commercial loan is a financial arrangement in which a lender provides funds to a business for a specific purpose. It is a form of debt financing that allows businesses to access capital to start, operate, expand, or invest in their operations. Business loans can be obtained from various sources such as banks, credit unions, online lenders, or government programs. A commercial loan can be either a current or long-term liability, depending on the terms of the loan. If the loan is due within 1 year, it's considered a current liability. If the loan is due after 1 year, it's considered a long-term liability. Let's hear from a bookkeeper about her experience in working with business liabilities. Let's play the video.
You can hear it?
There's no audio po.
Okay na?
Wala, ma'am.
Wala pa rin po.
Wow.
Gayahin mo yung ginawa ko kagabi, Miss Ana, yung stop share. And then
Okay.
pagka-open mo, makikita mo on your right yung share audio ba yun? Something. I-close mo muna yung stop share mo muna siya. Then click share again. Then you will see there on your right, lower right.
Share a sound.
Yeah.
Is what?
Pwede. Yes, that's it. Then try to click again the video. Let's see if there's a sound already.
Okay.
The line of credit account and debit to the bank
Meron na.
for the same amount.
Lakas ng ulan
When
dito
payments
sa
are
amin.
made
Baka
on the
mawala
loan,
ako.
the opposite is recorded. You'll credit the bank and debit the line of credit. There is also something called a commercial loan that's available to businesses. These loans can either be secured or unsecured loans, meaning that the business may or may not have to pledge some asset as collateral. For example, I had a client just a few days ago whose business had great credit and financial standing, and they were given a commercial loan without having to put up anything in collateral. It's also possible that a commercial loan is a short-term liability that could be paid off within a few months. Sometimes it's a line of credit. Maybe the business is approved for $100,000, but they don't need to take the whole amount right away. I've seen this happen when a business couldn't pay its employee on time with its current cash flow situation, and it had the freedom to borrow what it needed now and then pay it down as some bigger customer invoices came in. There are lots of different ways that loans might be structured for a business. Sometimes they're just interest and payments for a while, or potentially they would have one big payment at the end. The thing that clients don't always realize is that when they get these kinds of loans, they now have an outside party, lenders, very interested in the success of their business. Lenders want to ensure that they get paid back, which means they may want to have access to the business's financial statements. The key things you want to understand about any lines of credit are the type of loan, whether it's long-term or current liability, and whether it's secured by an asset or not. If the loan is secured, make sure that the asset is properly recorded on the books. By understanding these key aspects, bookkeepers can accurately record and report a company's financial obligations.
Yet, we'll stop then. I will discuss a little bit recap of the transcript. Can you read the PowerPoint? Can you see it? Hello?
Yes po.
Okay.
Yes po.
Here's the
A
recap of
little
the
bit po.
a little bit.
Pero
Okay.
it would be better if you could make it bigger.
From current slide. Oh. Click niyo yung from current slide.
Ayun. Ayaw niyo mag-post. Ay, post siya.
Yeah.
Okay. Here is the recap on the transcript on tracking credit purchases. As a bookkeeper, there are two main actions. We have the receiving a bill, recording the purchase. We have the paying the bill, setting the liabilities. When receiving a bill, we have to record immediately, even if it is unpaid credit purchase or expenses, then debit expense account, credit accounts payable. Inventory purchases on credit, debit merchandise inventory, and credit accounts payable. Number 4 is end of month. Accounts payable shows outstanding unpaid balances when paying a bill. Debit accounts payable, credit cash, if payments reduce AP only by the amount we paid. Once fully paid, the net effect on the accounts payable will become 0. In short, credit purchases increase accounts payable and payments reduce it. The process ensures liability are properly tracked until cleared. So we'll have some sample of the accounts payable journal entries. When you enter a bill in QBO, you receive from a vendor invoice for office supplies of $5,000. The journal entry created by QBO is to debit the office supplies expenses of $5,000 and credit it to accounts payable $5,000. This records the expense but keeps it unpaid and under accounts payable. 2, when you pay the bill, you pay the suppliers $5,000 via bank. The journal entry created by QBO will debit accounts payable of $5,000 and credit bank accounts for $5,000. Or if you use cash in payment, if you are a cash basis, amounting to $5,000 too. This clears the liability and reduces your bank balance. Here are the accounting equation. We have the assets is equal to liabilities plus equity. How it shows in QBO, before payment shows in accounts payable under liability account. And after the payment, bill is closed, liability cleared, expenses remains recorded. In short, bill entered on the accounting equation, the expense increases and the accounts payable increases too with the same amount. If bill was paid, the accounts payable decreases and the bank also decreases. Can we take the scenario for the sample, Sis Alma, sorry. Or we'll just give the PowerPoint na lang.
It's up
Kasi
po.
marami pa kasi yung babasahin.
Move forward na lang po kung puro entries lang naman.
Yeah. Okay. Entries and some explanation lang siya.
Key points, you
So,
can just key points of your presentation would be the best. Key takeaways.
okay, thank you. So, the key takeaways for the net cash from operating, parang So key takeaways. Accounts payable shows up as a current liability till paid. The payments reduces cash and AP but doesn't affect revenue. Deferred or what we call unearned revenue, also a current liability till the service is performed. As revenue is earned, it shifts from liability to income, equity via retained earnings. But cash flow is unaffected and that point since cash was already collected earlier. So, stop muna tayo here, then we'll proceed with the video. Nag-close yung QBO ko. Sorry.
Take your time po. We will wait.
Okay. Kita nyo na yung QBO?
Di pa po.
Not yet, but nag-close kasi siya.
That's okay. Kakanta daw muna si Kelly. While you're
Jeng,
Diyan yung
last
tumbling
day.
mo.
Ay, tumbling ka. O, diba? Parang ano.
Here na.
Yan na. Perfect.
Okay. Ala, sa knowledge check na pala tayo. Okay. Net, on your part pa ba ito? Sa list ng reader?
No, ma'am. Sa'yo po.
Okay.
Ay, sorry.
Okay, oo nga pala, ako palang magre-read, then you will be the one to answer. Okay. Okay, we are here now with the knowledge check. Which of the following are sources of line of credit? Select all that apply. Pwede bang iliit ko para makuha lahat in once? Or maliit on your part? Is it too small on your part, the viewing of the QBO?
Medyo maliit po.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Here na. So,
Okay.
select all that applies. Magsagot na ako.
Okay.
Okay. Is it bank? Correct?
Correct.
Okay. How about family? Is it a source of line of credit?
No po.
No.
How about a vendor or suppliers? Is it a line of credit? A source of line of credit?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And last is the credit card.
Yes. Current liability.
Okay. Are you sure? We'll submit. Okay. Awesome. Correct. That's right. A line of credit is an account with a supplier, a credit card, or a bank. Family is not included because it is a group, or it's not a financial intermediaries ang family. So next. Which of the following describes the debt associated with accounts payable? Select all that applies. How about bills paid after a year? Is that associated with AP or accounts payable?
No po.
How about initial transactions via cash?
No
po.
How about initial transaction via credit?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And lastly is the bills paid in the near future.
Yes po.
Yes.
So we're going to submit now. Correct. Awesome. Accounts payable represents the debts for goods and services that a business has purchased on credit and will need to repay in the near future. Okay, go. Miss Net.
Okay. Tracking credit purchases. Track credit purchases involves recording transactions associated with the acquisition of goods or services on credit, where payment is deferred to a later date or made through an agreed-upon credit arrangement. Tracking credit purchases involves recording transactions associated with receiving number one, receiving bills, number two, paying out money on bills. Let's look at how tracking credit purchases works in the video that follows. Let's play the video.
For a bookkeeper, tracking credit purchases consists of two basic actions, receiving and paying. When receiving a bill, credit purchases are recorded as soon as the bill arrives, even though the payment has not yet been made. Credit purchases are entered as a debit to the expense account and a credit to the accounts payable account for the amount of the purchase. Inventory purchases bought with credit are entered as a debit the merchandise inventory account and credit accounts payable. At the end of each month, the trial balance will show a balance in accounts payable for any outstanding amounts that are yet to be paid. Any invoices paid off or partially paid during the month will be debited from accounts payable. When paying a bill, debit accounts payable by the amount of the payment and credit cash that amount. Note that the net effect of both the purchase and the payment on accounts payable should be zero once the bill has been fully paid.
Sorry, nawala na yung aking PowerPoint. Medyo hubi na yung net ko, my dear. Can you see my PowerPoint now?
No po. Po pala, sorry.
Yes.
So sa I will skip some. Okay. So here are the recap on the transcript of deferred unearned revenues. The definition, deferred revenue, also called unearned revenue, money received in advance for goods or services not yet delivered or earned. Since delivery is pending, it's recorded as a liability, not a revenue. Reasoning, buyer could cancel the order or the business may fail to deliver. Revenue can only be recognized once the service or product is completed. Third is accounting treatment. Initial receipt, debit to cash, credit to deferred revenue under liability account. When earned, debit deferred revenue and credit revenue under income. Appears on balance sheet until earned. Only moves to income statement when the service or products is delivered. For example, gift cards, prepaid subscriptions, advanced service payments, example, annual maintenance contract. Number 5, key points for bookkeepers. Always treat unearned revenue as a liability until earned. Mass revenue recognition with services and products delivery. Accrual, this is an accrual principle. Monitor balances carefully to avoid overstating income. Ensure deferred revenue is properly reclassified to revenue when obligations are met. In short, deferred revenue is a cost received now, revenue later, liability first, income only when it is earned. There is some samples of journal entries with subscriptions and gift cards here, but I will not discuss it anymore. I will just give you the PowerPoint for your reference. Then we'll push through with the QBO. Who's next? Aya or Danica? Net, ikaw pa ba ito? Itong part na ito? Kasi hindi ko makita yung kodigo ko. Hello?
Nanette pa po.
Okay. Go, Nanette.
Okay. Other forms of current liabilities. Cash payments. We all know that cash payments are payments for goods and services. Cash can include traditional notes and coins, other currencies, any transaction method that immediately affects the bank account, such as a check that is written and then deposited by the recipient. Note that cash payments to vendors will decrease the cash account, an asset, and also decrease the accounts payable account, a liability, since the payment reduces the outstanding debt to the debtor. When cash payments affect liabilities only when they are made to settle outstanding obligations or debts owed by a business to its creditors or suppliers. Otherwise, purchases made with cash are generally not considered liabilities. Deferred revenue is that is paid to the business for work not yet performed, recorded in books as liability. Watch the video that follows to explore deferred revenue or unearned revenue received in advance for the promise of future goods or services to understand how it impacts the accounting equation. Let's play the video.
Deferred revenue, also called unearned revenue, is money received in advance by a business for goods or services that it has not yet delivered or earned. Because there is always the possibility that the buyer will cancel the order or some event may happen to prevent the completion of the order. Deferred revenue is not considered revenue until the product or service is provided. Deferred revenue is instead recorded as a liability on the balance sheet. If using accrual accounting, deferred revenue cannot be listed on the income statement until it is fully earned. Once the income is earned through the completion and delivery of the service or order, the liability is then decreased and recognized as income. Other examples of deferred revenue are gift cards or prepaid subscriptions.
Okay, the recap of the transcript has been read a while ago, so we'll go to the setting the scene. Who's next on this part? Is it
Miss
Net?
Danica.
Miss Danica. Okay, go.
Setting the scene. The head of a film production company hires a painting business for a custom paint job. They agree on a price, sign a contract, and pay in full. The check is then deposited into the painting business's bank account. Since the work hasn't been completed yet, this advance payment is pababa po, Miss Ana, considered deferred revenue. Caution. Deferred revenue should not be spent like cash from earned revenue. This revenue should be spent carefully until all the work associated with the payment is completed. So liability can be a good thing. Although deferred revenue is a liability, having a lot of deferred revenue on the books is not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, it can actually demonstrate strong customer demand and a healthy pipeline of work and future revenue opportunities. In a financial bind, the film company has contracted the painting business to completely cover an entire city set in fluorescent paint. The painting business needs to order fluorescent pink paint from all over the world to fulfill the request. This is going to be complicated and expensive.
Okay, we'll have some knowledge check. How will the painting business purchase so much paint without opening a line of credit? First is depend on cash on hand. Is it true or false?
False po.
Okay. How about get a bank loan?
False, I think.
Okay. Take out a second mortgage.
Hindi rin po.
The first, second, and third is not a form of opening a line of credit because the business is new. So the correct answer for this is ask for payment upfront to the customer so that you will have a line of credit to use.
Correct.
So correct. A business can rely on upfront payments to cover large customers' order costs using deferred revenue. This way, to where the funds directly fund the expenses associated with the work is a common practice. So you may take Danica, please.
Okay, avoiding line of credit. If a business needs to purchase supplies to complete a service for a customer, asking for payment upfront can allow the business use deferred revenue rather than taking out a line of credit to pay the supplies. This is often an easier option for many smaller businesses, though it comes with some risk to the business. So when to consider using deferred revenue? So as long as there is a reliable schedule to deliver those deferred goods and services, it is generally better to get this type of financing from customers to support funding the work rather than a line of credit to the bank. Customer complaint. But what happens if the customer discovers the job wasn't completed as requested? The head of the film studio calls to complain. You guys used the wrong color. I ordered magenta pink, but your painters used bubblegum pink. I'm not happy with this and I want my money back. So it's risky revenue. While deferred revenue is held in a bank account just as cash from earned revenue, if the customer is unhappy with the final result, this revenue can be at risk. The customer may request refunds or cancel the work, and the business may need to return a portion or all of the deferred revenue. So if the money was already spent, as in this case, it can be present a problem for the business. So also keep in mind, when using accrual-based accounting, cash flow is recorded immediately, while revenue is recorded once the revenue is earned. So collecting deferred revenue could mean that a business's revenue and its cash flow will be recorded in different periods.
So let's have some knowledge check again. What are key points about deferred revenue to remember? Select all that applies. First, deferred revenue functions just like a cost. Is it right or wrong? Or hi.
Yes po.
Is it deferred revenue functions just like a cost? Is
No
this
po.
a
No.
deferred revenue should not be spent like a cost?
Yes.
Yes.
So the third one is deferred revenue support the funding of business expenses.
Yes.
Is deferred revenue and cash flow are separate things?
Yes.
Are you sure with your answers? Then we will submit. So great job. Okay, deferred revenue should not be treated like cash, but can be used to fund expenses. Deferred revenue and cash flow are not always in sync from period to period.
So next is the sales tax payable. So sales tax payable is a special account on a business's balance sheet. It keeps track of the sales tax collected from customers, which is money that belongs to the government. The business is responsible for paying the sales tax collected to the government at a later time. So let's start the video.
Sales tax payable is a liability account in the balance sheet that keeps track of the sales tax collected from customers. These funds are collected from customers of a business at the time of sale, and then kept in the sales tax payable liability account until they are paid back to the state government. A majority of states have a sales tax, but the rules, amounts, and items included in the sales tax vary widely. In some states, the rules even differ by county, and whether or not shipping is considered taxable also varies by state. Different states also have different methods for businesses to pay the sales tax, and recent laws have made changes to how the state sales tax rules are applied to internet sales across state lines. Bookkeepers should ensure they know the rules for their state by contacting the state to learn the current sales tax policies and procedures.
In short, sales tax payable represent customers' tax held in trust until remitted, and rules vary widely by state, so bookkeepers must stay compliant and monitor the sales transaction. I will not discuss the other features of the transcript. I'll just send you the PowerPoint. Then we'll continue with the QBO navigations. Okay. Next.
So the next topic is the impact of current liabilities using accounts payable. Recording transactions. There are two ways to record a transaction using accounts payable. Which you choose is based upon, first is when the transaction is for the purchase of an asset. Second is when the transaction is not for the purchase of an asset. So what makes an asset an asset? The difference is whether the item purchased is of enough value to be considered an asset. A generally accepted threshold is the amounts over $2,500 are considered assets, except for inventory assets, which do not have a dollar threshold. So select the cards to read the other side. So for an asset, the threshold is more than $2,500. And for not an asset is less than $2,500 threshold. So try it out. In the following activities, you will practice correctly recording cash purchases in which one item is an asset and another is not. You will also record deferred revenue and sales tax payable. So credit purchases. Let's see how the accounting equation works for credit purchases that are and are not assets. So when a credit purchase is an asset, so let's say your client owns a restaurant and opens a line of credit for $20,000 with a restaurant supply store. The client then purchases a new underbar glass dishwasher from the vendor for $5,000 on credit. So the terms of the account require the client to pay down the line of credit to zero within a year of the equipment purchase. So take a moment to reflect. In the corresponding transaction journal entry, will you record the transaction for the equipment to an asset account or an expense account?
So the amount of the glass dishwasher is $5,000. So let's see it. So using the journal entry, transaction journal here, so what will we debit? The asset or the liability account?
The asset.
Debit.
Debit
Debit.
the asset, which is the property, plant, and equipment. And then not applicable on the credit sides. And then we will credit the accounts payable because it was purchased on credit. So are you amenable with this transaction journal? Hi, hello. Tutulog na kayo.
Yes.
Agree po.
Okay. Thank you for confirming. So that's correct. You entered all the information correctly. So next, Miss Danica.
Since the equipment cost more than $2,500, it is considered an asset. So instead of expensing it, you will debit the property, plant, and equipment account. Your client may worry that this could show more profit on the books and lead to higher taxes. So remind your client that while paying additional taxes may be challenging, having assets is crucial for long-term growth. So the accounting equation is assets equals liabilities plus equity. So assets is anything that the business owns of value or resource of value that has the potential to be transformed into cash. And the liabilities is what the business owes to others, and equity is owner's stake in the business, how much they have invested or withdrawn. So how does the purchase of credit of the $5,000 dishwasher affect the accounting equation? Use the drop-down menus to update the appropriate cells in the tables. When you're finished, select Submit.
Okay. Here is the accounting equations. So what we will debit is the asset account amounting to what?
5,000.
And then what is the corresponding credit on the accounting equation? Is it the liabilities or the equity?
Liabilities.
Okay. And then on equity, this is no effect because the affected area on the accounting equations is on the asset accounts, which is the cost of the dishwasher, that we book it as a part of the PPE and a credit to accounts payable under liabilities account. So we will submit now. So that's correct. You entered the information correctly. Okay.
So you should increase both accounts payable and the new equipment account by $5,000. This increases both assets, the new equipment account, and liabilities, the accounts payable account. The accounting equation remains in balance. So when a credit purchase is not an asset, let's say your client who owns the restaurant purchases a $200 blender from an online retail store with a credit card. Due to the cost, the item is not considered an asset. So take a moment to reflect. In the corresponding transaction journal entry, will you record the transaction to an asset account or an expense account? Use the drop-down menus to update the appropriate cells in the tables. When you're finished, select Submit.
So in this transaction journal, we have to apply the threshold of 2,500 to become an asset, and it will, if it is less than 2,500, it should be booked as an expense. So what we will debit is the tools expense amounting to 200. Okay. And then we will credit the account credit card payable because we use credit card in purchasing this store paint sprayer. So we credit the amount of 200. So are you amenable with this?
Yes
Yeah.
po.
Okay, we'll go.
That's correct.
Okay. So continue.
So at $200, the blender is considered a tool expense rather than the asset. You should increase both the expense account and the credit card payable account by $200. So how do you balance the accounting equation? Remember, when handling transactions, assets equals liabilities plus equity.
Okay.
So use the drop-down menus to update each cell in the following table. When you are finished, select Submit.
Okay. I will hand it to you, Miss Nanette, the accounting equations affected on this part.
Okay. So, sa asset, that's for the asset po, that's not applicable.
Okay.
And to the liabilities, we have to increase by 200.
Okay. And what will be the
At
debit?
to balance the equation, equity is negative 200.
Why is it negative 200 in equity? Do you know the answer? Okay, I will supplement on that. So the affected area on this purchase of 200 is the liabilities and the equity accounts. It represents negative 200 to the equity because this is an expense account. So it's not an income. So we have to put on the equity as negative 200 to balance the accounting equations. So that's correct. Next.
So at
Sorry. Masyadong tumaas. Okay.
So a $200 blender bought on credit increases liabilities and reduces equity by the same amount. So assets remain unchanged. So cash purchases. When cash is involved, as opposed to purchasing on credit as in the previous two scenarios, you have to treat the accounting equation a little differently. So paying a bill with cash. So let's look at what happens to the accounting equation when cash is spent paying a bill from either notes payable or accounts payable. Let's say we make a payment of $1,000 to pay an outstanding bill. So use the drop-down menus to update the appropriate cells in the tables. So when you finished, select Submit.
Okay. On accounting equations, under assets is equal to liabilities plus equity, what is the affected account in the accounting equation? Let me hear from Aya.
The asset will decrease by $1,000.
Okay.
Then since it's on credit, so it the cash is because we spent cash, so it decreases assets by 1,000. Then We have an outstanding bill, so it increases our liability by 1,000 and no effect in equity since there's no an expense.
Okay, thank you. So we will submit. Oh, sorry. Quite not. Okay, let's analyze.
We have to
Sorry.
decrease the liabilities.
The scenarios here is, let's look at what happens to the accounting equation when cash is spent, paying a bill from either notes payable or accounts payable. So paying bill.
Yeah.
Let's say we make a payment to an outstanding bill. So
It decreases the accounts payable.
decreases the accounts payable because we pay for the bill. Okay.
Right.
Give another try. And then the 1,000 is paid through cash. So the accounting equation, the asset account of the accounting equations will decrease 2. Okay? Are you amenable now with this presentations of the accounting equation that we will decrease the asset and we will decrease the liabilities? Okay, thank you for the confirmation. So that's correct. Okay. Who's next?
Me pa rin po.
Okay.
So, assets decrease by the amount of the payment. Liabilities decrease by the same amount and there is no effect on equity. So next is
oh no. Okay, sorry.
It's okay po. So next is paying for an item. So if cash is used to purchase something with no invoice or waiting period, then you have what is called a net neutral event. So assets increase by the amount paid and decrease by the same amount, with no effect on liabilities or equities. So use the drop-down menus to update the cells and show how the purchase of the item for $1,000 in cash affects the accounting equation. When you are finished, select Submit.
So if cash is used to purchase something with no invoice or waiting period, when you have what is called a net neutral effect, what is the affected area on these accounting equations? Can you answer it, Ms. Danica?
The accounting equation is for asset account is not applicable since we purchase an item for $1,000 in cash. So there's an asset, which is the item we purchase, and then my cash outflow, so negative siya. So
the asset will be a positive 1,000 and I purchases or inventory of 1,000 and then a negative of 1,000 for the cash payment. So that is not applicable. Okay, correct. How about the liabilities and the equity? Is it
does not affect po.
So it will not be affected because the transactions is barely on the asset side, the increase and decrease. So no effect or not applicable. So we'll submit. So that's correct. Okay. Dragging web.
Next is tracking deferred revenue. So how is deferred revenue tracked? Let's look at the scenario between a car detailer and their customer. On January 1st, Amanda buys a $300 detailing package from Xavier, the owner of a car detailing business. This package covers 3 months of car services for Amanda. Before starting any work on Amanda's car, Xavier records the $300 payment as deferred revenue because the business hasn't earned that money yet. So since the package Amanda purchased is essentially a 3-month subscription, the business will recognize 1/3, which is $100 of the deferred revenue every month. So what does the journal entry for the end of January, the first month of Amanda's $300 detailing services package, look like? So use the drop-down menus to update the appropriate cells in the tables. When you're finished, select Submit.
So, any volunteer with the transaction journal? Hello.
For the transaction journal, since we will cover only for a month,
Yeah.
the deferred revenue liability on a debit, let's choose drop down, $100. For the credit, that's not applicable. Since we have used up the one month equivalent, the debit for the membership revenue is not applicable, and the credit side is $100.
So what have been consumed is only $100. So we have debited the deferred revenue and we recognize the membership revenue on the credit side. So let's submit.
That's
correct. Okay.
So you should decrease deferred revenue by $100 and increase membership revenue by $100. As income is earned, portions of the deferred revenue become earned revenue until all work is completed. You will accomplish this by continuing to recognize $100 of the revenue at the end of every month until the deferred revenue account reaches zero. So when the deferred revenue reaches zero, the full $300 is recognized as earned revenue on the business's income statement and the deferred revenue account is zeroed out. So next is the sales tax payable. Finally, we'll look at how sales tax transactions impact the accounting equation. So how do you balance the accounting equation? Consider a car detailing business that sells $200 worth of merchandise and collects $20 in sales tax. So let's reflect on how the accounting equation changes the account for the transaction in this example. So increased assets for the cash collected amounted to $220 and decreased assets for the merchandise or inventory sold for negative $100. Credit liabilities to account for the sales tax amounted to $20. Equity increases by way of net income amounted to $100. To update each cell, select from the drop-down options. When ready, select Submit.
Okay. Let me hear from Nanette. Net, are you there?
Yeah. For the assets, since we have to increase the cash collection, we have to choose the positive $220. Okay. The decrease in asset following the merchandise inventory sold, we have to deduct $100.
Okay.
So the net effect that should be reflected on the other side should be 120. For the liabilities, we have to reflect the $20. And the equity, the effect is additional net income of $100.
So what we have recorded on the liability sections is the sales tax of 20. So let's admit, correct.
That's correct.
So next, who's on the, let's summarize.
Business assets increased by $220 with the cash from the sale and also decreased by $200 with the reduction in inventory. For a net increase in assets of $20, sales tax, which is a liability, increased by $20.
So let's go to the summary activities. Mukhang matatapos ba natin? Parang hindi. Tapusin na natin para next na tomorrow ang long-term liabilities. Okay. Miss Aya?
Okay po. Can you please scroll down, Miss Anna?
Oh.
Okay, setting the scene. Let's say you are hired by Millie, the owner of a masonry business, to do the books. Her high-end bricklaying business is a brand new. Millie has invested $20,000 cash in the business. She's looking for customers and knows that as soon as she gets some, she'll need access to more funds to cover costs. What advice would you give Millie? Select all that apply.
Okay. So, what advice would you give to Millie? Select all that applies. Is it an open line of credit at a bank?
Yes, po.
Is this correct?
Yes.
How about apply for business loan?
No.
No, because she is new with the business. And then on the third one, take out a second mortgage. Is this correct?
No.
How about the fourth one? Open a business line of credit with a hardware store.
Yes.
Okay. So the applicable here is an open line of credit at a bank and an open line of credit with a hardware store. Because Millie has a new in the business. So this is what we will advise them to do. So it is correct. Both line of credit with a bank and business line of credit with a hardware store represents current liabilities, which is best for Millie's at this stage. Okay.
Funding comes in. Following your suggestion, Millie sets up a line of credit at her bank for her business with a $10,000 limit and a business line of credit at the local hardware store with a $5,000 limit. With the amount she originally invested, she now has $35,000 at her disposal. A cool first job. Millie acquires her first customer, a family that wants an artisanal brick pizza oven built in their backyard. Millie needs materials such as bricks, stone, mortar, concrete, and rebar, and equipment, a a utility trailer to get started on the job. Millie quotes the job at $10,000 for 2 weeks of work. Her customers pay half the amount upfront, with the second half due at project completion. Deferred revenue, $5,000. Material cost, $4,000, and the utility trailer cost $3,200. The job begins on August 17th. What does the journal entry for the cash deposit look like? Use the drop-down menus to update the appropriate cells in the tables. And when you are finished, select Submit.
Okay. The transaction journal for deferred revenue here is we will debit the amount advanced by the customer amounting to 5,000 and credit the deferred revenue amounting to 5,000. We cannot credit the amount of 5,000 into revenue because the project is not yet started. So we will reclassify that deferred revenue at the time of the completion. So we will submit this one. So this is correct.
What does the corresponding accounting equation look like at this point? Use the drop-down menus to update the appropriate cells in the tables. When you are finished, select Submit.
Okay, Net, can you share what you know about the accounting equation of the cash deposit on the work? Is Net still here or hi Net? Are you there?
Hi
Okay.
po, medyo mahina lang yung data.
Okay.
Okay. Saan na po tayo?
Regarding the accounting equation of the cash deposit on the work, what is the affected accounts on the equation?
Okay. For the effect on the asset, we have 4,000. Ano po yun?
Pardon?
5,000. 5,000 po positive.
Okay. How about the liability account? Is it affected?
For the liability, yes, it is affected because we receive a 5,000 deferred revenue.
So, how about it? It is positive or negative?
Positive.
Okay, thank you. So, how about on the equity side? There is no?
For the equity side, there is no effect since we have not yet recognized the income.
Okay, so the accounting equations of cash deposit on the work is the affected account on the equation is the asset accounts, which is a positive 5,000, and liability accounts, which is a positive of 5,000. So let's submit.
Okay.
Correct. So next. Hi, Aya. Hi, Aya.
Sorry po, nakamute. Getting the materials. Millie purchases the necessary materials from the hardware store on August 22nd for $4,000. What does the entry for job materials look like? Use the drop-down menus to update the appropriate cells in the tables. When you're finished, select Submit.
So, Danica, can you have the journal to this material purchase?
For the materials inventory, there's an increase of $4,000 since it's an asset And for the accounts payable, credit po, $4,000.
So let's submit. Okay. Your answer is correct. The next, Aya.
What does the corresponding accounting equation look like for the purchase of the materials? Use the drop-down menus to update the appropriate cells in the tables. When you are finished, select Submit.
So what is affected in the equations?
Asset 4,000. Then liabilities 4,000 and no effect in equity.
Okay, thank you. So that's correct.
Miss Anna,
Yes,
if
Miss
I may
Jeng.
po. If I may
Ha?
po. If I may lang, I think the getting the materials question is incomplete lang. Wala yung, it should have the word on credit. Parang, Millie purchases the necessary materials from the hardware store on August 22nd for 4,000 on credit sana. Yun lang. But yeah, since we're on liabilities, yun na, given na. But yeah,
Oo. Yeah. Yeah, oo.
yun lang. Net ko lang po. Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you for your insights.
You're welcome.
So
So,
on
go,
August
Aya.
29th, Millie uses her line of credit at the bank to buy a utility trailer. The cost is 3,200. What does the entry for the equipment purchase look like? Use the drop-down menus to update the appropriate cells in the tables. When you are finished, select Submit. So we debit the PPE 3,200, then credit bank of line of credit 3,200.
And then we will credit what amount? The same amount with the property, plant, and equipment. So, correct. Next.
What does the corresponding accounting equation looks like? Use the drop-down menus to update the appropriate cells in the tables. When you are finished, select Submit. So there's an effect in asset of 3,200 and liabilities of 3,200 and no effect in equity.
Okay. So the asset accounts and the liability accounts under equations is only affected. The equity side is not affected.
Applying your skills. Your role as a bookkeeper is to help make sure Millie's business has enough money for current obligations in the bank. For instance, with $35,000 cash on hand and another $5,000 on the way when the job is done, the $7,200 in expenses just outlined is very comfortable. But if Millie had wanted to buy a new truck at $32,000 instead of a utility trailer, your knowledge of her books might help dissuade her until a second job comes along.
Hello, Miss Alma. We will continue pa ba? Because we have only 3 minutes left. Or kasi after this slide, the next is the test of
Yeah, we'll just continue
8
tomorrow na
items
lang
now.
po.
Okay.
Yes, we'll continue tomorrow since long-term liabilities will be discussed. So thank you for the presentation for tonight.
Okay, so tomorrow we will do the quiz of 8 items only. madali na lang yun, mga 5 minuto lang siguro. So, thank you for your patience in our presentations. And if ever po na you have any questions or any clarification, can you just thank you for your patience in our presentations. And if ever po na you have any questions or any clarification, can you just thank you for your hello. If you have any clarifications or any questions, can you rather questions send to Miss Alma, then we will go through the questions and answer it. For the slides, we will share it. If you have any questions or any questions, can you rather hello.
Nagpapaulit-ulit na si Miss
Nagpapaulit-ulit yung aking, hindi na ako nagsasalita, but then, yung audio
Yeah.
ko.
Chris is going to say something po at.
Okay. Go, Chris. Thank you. Any questions? Can you rather...
Nagpapaulit-ulit na si Miss
Nagpapaulit-ulit yung aking, hindi na ako nagsasalita, but then, yung audio
Yeah.
ko.
Chris is going to say something po ata.
Okay. Go, Chris. Thank you.
Hey guys,
Hello.
there's a problem with the audio of I think Annabelle. Annabelle ka na, Annabelle. Kilala mo ba si Annabelle?
Hello.
Baka ina-Annabelle na si Annabelle. Bakit ganyan? I can still hear. Okay. Annabelle ka na, Annabelle. Kilala mo ba si Annabelle?
Please, thank
Weird.
you.
Wait lang. Fix natin yung audio ni Annabelle. Ina-Annabelle na si Annabelle. Sino bang host? Can you, Annabelle, can you just mute yourself? Annabelle, if you could mute, if you could mute. Annabelle ka na, Annabelle. So, wait lang. Fix natin yung audio ni Annabelle. Hindi ko kasi naman mute.
Diyan ko kakatawa.
Annabelle, can you just mute? So weird. Weird. Reclaim host. Okay. Fix natin yung audio ni Annabelle. Hindi ko kakatawa. Annabelle, can you just
Kelly is the host.
Annabelle, if you don't mind, leave ka lang muna quickly sa call and then rejoin if you don't mind. Okay. This is it's just, is it me? Wait lang. I think after all it's me.
Kay Chris nga.
Annabelle, if you don't mind. Is it better?
Kanina pa nakamute si Miss Annabelle.
Actually, ako pala yung culprit. I am so darn sorry. Kasi
Naiiyak na ako sa iyo, Chris.
After ako pala yung may mali. I'm so sorry, Annabelle. Nasabihan pa kitang nag-Annabelle na si Annabelle. Right? Have you watched that movie? It's creepy. I couldn't dare finish that movie. I hate horror movies, by the way. And so, yeah, I just want to announce for those na magsa-subscribe, magjo-join pala nung na YouTube. I will have a call with Nima later. I'll have to schedule it pa with him, but he said Tuesday. So if you guys would want to hear the call, and I don't know, guys, if you would also be available. I'd likely have it by 12 midnight. But yeah, starting tonight, we will broadcast, or I will broadcast myself live. And I've already asked Andre and Kelly to also create, and you guys also should create, sa plan na mag-join, to create your YouTube channel. Kasi pala, pag nag-live, pwedeng magpa-co-host doon sa YouTube live. So that if you guys also would want to share or anything like that sa live natin na session, you can do it. Okay. That would be one of the perk of joining availing the membership dun sa YouTube. But yeah, I'll see you there if you are joining. And I guess that's it for me for tonight. Thank you sa lahat ng nag-present. You guys did an awesome job. I would want to interject para lang mas ma-emphasize pa yung topic more. Para ayoko lang mapatagal masyado yung bookkeeping na session kasi pwede naman natin tong i-continue after nung business tax prep What we do here sa bookkeeping talaga is more of you guys getting to know how the bookkeeping works, appreciation of the financial statements in preparation sa business tax prep natin na course, okay? But as to in-depth bookkeeping, I feel like we can do more in terms of emphasizing it. Namimiss ko yung pag-continue working file natin doon sa G-Sheet and also the transition sa QuickBooks Test Drive. I'm so tempted actually every time I listen to you guys. I feel so tempted to interject and put some context. But I'm holding myself off para again hindi magtagal yung session. Balikan na lang natin to after we will cover in-depth bookkeeping after nung business tax prep. So I guess that's it for me, and I think may continuation kayo ng EA review. So I'll see you guys in the live. Magla-live ako siguro ng mga 10.
Meet our free US bookkeeping course brought to you by the Borderless Accountants. We are inviting you to join our community. Live training, reputable tax firms as resource speakers, recorded, replayable at higit sa lahat, libre. To join, like and follow our official Facebook page, join our Facebook group for important updates, and fill out our Google form to be included in our mailing list. See you there!